Some wind here on the Sunday card at the Big A in South Ozone Park, Queens. But you know what? We move closer to spring. We turn the clocks an hour ahead. We hope you're fresh and ready to rock and roll. The MIG looks terrific here on MSG Plus. Another two-day weekend down at the Big A. And I'll tell you, with the Gotham in the rearview mirror, we look ahead. We're less than a month out from that TwinSpires.com Wood Memorial.
Yeah, our final Kentucky Derby prep, and we got a lot of things to look forward to. Some horses will be shipping in for that. We have a couple of local horses that comported themselves very well yesterday. But I think I'm still fresh, even losing that hour's sleep, just because the afterglow of all that great racing yesterday.
We need you awake even for the show and after. You've got a Sunday Original 6 matchup, a little Rangers and Blackhawks at 7:30 p.m. Let's go Rangers, but let's get to today's headlines and some big names. I mean, this was a weekend, by far the best weekend thus far in the game in 2015. There were big names left and right, top divisions, the TwinSpires.com Wood Memorial, a number of the recent winners commemorated in the Big A paddock. And might we see a Wood winner among the top 3 that exit the Gotham? It sounds like all those horses will rematch at the Big A on April 4th.
Yeah, I'm glad to see them all come back. All top three finishes in the Gotham ran well. El Kabir, I love the way he changed his tactics, settled, got a beautiful ride from Chucky Lopez. Classy Class ran another good race. And how about the effort from Tiz Shady under Taylor Rice, kind of coming through a tight spot. Second start, going from a sprint to a route. I think this horse really, really ran well, and a horse that can definitely build off of that effort.
Let's head out to the West Coast. Bob Baffert has got an unbeaten 3-year-old by Big Brown named Dortmund. Another fast win out of this colt, who's a perfect 5 for 5, pairing up consecutive 104 buyers, and he'll get that rematch April 4th out in the Santa Anita Derby.
He's a very good horse. I think he's going to be a better horse when he has horses to run at. He seems to me like he almost gets a little bit lost on the lead. I thought his gallop out was huge. The runner-up with Kent DeZormo, he felt like his horse, I guess his name is Prospect Park, named for the park in Brooklyn, would win the war. He said, we lost the battle, we'll win the war. I don't know if I see it that way. I think he had every chance at Dortmund, and Dortmund just left him again.
And a decent effort checking in third by Bolo, the turf horse. They'll try him again in the $1 Million Santa Anita Derby. They've all got to get around Dortmund, who, if the Kentucky Derby was this coming Saturday, I think he would be your post-time favorite with that unbeaten record. Now we switch gears. We get on to the older horses, and an older horse that sits atop the handicap division. This was just an awesome effort out of Shared Belief, winning the Big Cap yesterday. Belmont Stakes Day in the Metropolitan. It's on the radar.
You know, it's just so good for racing to have this horse come from California, bring his game on the road, and the Met Mile should be right up his alley. He won going a mile and a quarter here, as easy as a horse can do it. But I think a mile is right up his alley as well. He's shown the ability to win sprinting, going long. He's a throwback to one of those horses that we fell in love with watching, like Kelso and Forgo. He's a really, really top-class horse.
He's got the Hall of Fame duo in his corner. Mike Smith, obviously his jockey. Jerry Hollendorfer won the Met Mile a couple of years ago with Sahara Sky. And we have seen California Invaders do pretty well over the last couple of decades. Ibero in '93, and how about Pico Central back in 2004?
Pico Central, and a horse that I know you were very, very high on, Holy Bull, one of your favorite horses all the time. Mike Smith won the Met Mile with him, so maybe now with Shared Belief you can get another one.
And let's get on to the older fillies and mares. Untappable stretched her legs this morning at Fairgrounds for Steve Asmussen.
And she is the reigning 3-year-old filly champion. You got to think she's ready to run. Steve Asmussen doesn't work his horses fast. 101's a really good work for an Asmussen horse. We knew how good she was as a 3-year-old. If she improves it all to 4, she should lay over this division at this point.
And less than a week out from her 4-year-old debut in the Azari this coming Saturday at Oaklawn Park. We talk about the best in the game Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evening right here on MSG Plus, the National Racing Report. Myself, the MIG, Andy Serling. That is a show not to be missed as we recap the biggest weekend so far in North American racing thus far in 2015. But what about the Sunday card? Mig noted at the top of this show, it was a big day and a big weekend at Aqueduct. You could see the crowd still hanging out, betting Santa Anita, betting Gulfstream, firing up the Nye Rewards accounts. Race number 3, it's the 31st running of the Jimmy Wingfield as we go up to Travis Stone.
Accurate, Joe Franklin, Majestic Affair. Those 5 out looking for that lead, while Possessed drops out to trail the field. Up the backstretch, Regal Ministers in front, Lord Commander holding that spot second and toward the rail. Joe Franklin giving chase on the outside in third. A length back to Majestic Affair, who's wide of the far turn running in fourth. Accurate angles over to the inside fifth, advancing down inside, and 3 lengths back to Possessed, who is the trailer as 3 of them battle it out up top. First quarter's up in just 23 seconds flat. Joe Franklin moving up 3 wide on the outside of Regal Minister. Lord Commander continues on toward the rail, and these 3 battled out outside the quarter pole. 2 lengths back to Accurate and Majestic Affair. They're third and fourth. 2 lengths to make up. Possessed still trails as the field hits the top of the stretch. Lord Commander cut the quarter off the turn. Joe Franklin on the outside. Fighting on is Regal Minister. Down inside, Accurate is sneaking through. Majestic Affairs trying to get on track on the far outside. 1 furlong left. Accurate has come on through to take the lead. Majestic Affairs fully extended, but is a length and a half behind Accurate. Down to the wire, the 2-length winner. Accurate first, Majestic Affairs second, tight for third, Possessed and Joe Franklin.
Tough to ride a horse better than Jose Ortiz aboard Accurate, rail skimming ride, sat the pocket and splits horses in a pretty good effort to take the 31st Wingfield.
Yeah, this was a great ride, and this is exactly why Jose Ortiz is leading rider at this point at this meeting. You could see the cat and mouse game going on between Kendrick Carmouche and him around the turn. Kendrick wasn't going to let him out of that trick bag. He had to go back to the fence. He found room, and I think the ground saved was the difference between winning and losing.
The young man, 22, racking up wins and accolades here at the Big A. It's Jose Ortiz, who was with the MIG after taking the Wingfield.
Jose, you were able to get through on the fence. It was a great ride to get there from the rail. Was that the plan?
Yeah, the plan was stuck behind them because it was a lot of speed. And then, you know, follow the 5 horse. But by the 3 pole, he is like in the 4-5 path. I decided to go in and took a chance, and the rail was open. I have a lot of horse I go through.
It worked out really well the way he finished. Do you think he'd be able to go further distance, or he's better sprinting?
I think he will be able, but I like him a lot the way he sprint today.
Yeah, get a good pace, sit behind them, come through. He seemed very brave. It's very important, isn't it, to have a horse that will go through those spots?
Yeah, the horse, he was very game and he was doing well. And I want to thank all the connections, especially Rudy Rodriguez, Gustavo.
Good mention there by Jose Ortiz, the winning rider of the Son of Mock Ride, who's by, well, this horse, Accurate, is part of the first crop of Mock Ride. I can't imagine that horse covered many mares. He stands for just $2,000 down in Florida, and he's got a nice winner of the Wingfield, and a horse I've got to think the connections will take a look at the $300,000 Bayshore on the Wood undercard.
Yeah, you'd have to think so. I mean, he just beat, in my estimation, at least up north here, Majestic Affair, the best sprinting 3-year-old around. Of course, it's going to get a little bit tougher. Maybe a horse like Ready for Rye that won the Swale yesterday. But this horse earned his right, and I like the way he traveled in behind horses, Jason. He kind of took him there, took the dirt, came through. You got to like when a horse shows courage.
And this race named, of course, for a Hall of Fame jockey who won back-to-back Kentucky Derbies, one of 5 jockeys to only win back-to-back Derbies, and the last African-American to win the Kentucky Derby back in 1902. What a life for Jimmy Wingfield.
Oh, and beyond winning the Kentucky Derby, I mean, just going abroad, training for the Tsar of Russia, training horses in France. I mean, he just had such a colorful history, and I would urge anybody who doesn't know a lot about him, read the book about Jimmy Wingfield. It's an incredible story.
And check out your history of the game archived at NYRA.com, BelmontStakes.com as well. As we take a quick time out, we've got a look back at Sunday's Late Pick 4. We go 2 turns, and we'll stay with Travis Stone after the break. Back at the Big A, crowd hanging out, Santa Anita, Gulfstream. They're still running at Golden Gate and Tampa. NYRewards.com. Sign up for the best ADW in the business, and these races on NYRewards. Palm of your hand in high def. They look awesome.
Yeah, it looks terrific. You can see it. And to keep track of like days like yesterday, when we have great racing all over the country, from Santa Anita to Gulfstream, back here to New York, it's good to be able to have it at your fingertips.
Opening leg of the Late Pick 4. We're on Roku as well. More information available at NYRewards.com. Check it out, chock full. The game here in the Big Apple has entered the 21st century with the technology, the high def, and we're certainly thrilled about that. But we'll get on to Travis Stone, who in 2 months will call his first Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs. But we've got him up in the booth for race number 6 as we start the late pick 4.
Team 4 hustled out of the gate. Pretension on the outside off to a sharp start, too. And so those two head for the first turn together, with Seal Team 4 angling over to the inside to set the pace. Pretension running in second. Farther back of the pack, Go Get the Basil was in a bit tight there. Also involved with that was the Wild Night at the Opera. So they sort themselves out around the clubhouse turn. Seal Team 4's in front. Pretension stalking the pace in second. Money in Your Pocket racing 3 wide in third. Hard to handle long for the city in the clear on the outside. Fourth, Wild Night at the Opera. Save ground inside racing fifth. Cousin Michael at the back of that leading group in sixth by 3. Testosterone's about 7 or 8 lengths off to lead back in seventh by another 3 to Go Get the Basil. 5 lengths back to This Hard Land. 5 more back to 5 Freedoms and a strung out field behind a quarter in 24 and 1/5 second. Seal Team 4 heading for the far turn. Pretension has been second since the start and is edging closer on the outside. And 3 wide for Money in Your Pocket onto that far turn run. Long for the city, pushed on for more speed, racing fourth. Wild Night at the Opera is down inside, losing ground from fifth. Cousin Michael in sixth. Testosterone is seventh. This Hard Land is wide in eighth. Go Get the Basil is ninth. Still about 10 lengths behind and a quarter mile to go as the field hits the top of the stretch. Pretension has come on to put a nose in front. Seal Team 4 battles on toward the inside. Money in Your Pocket third on the outside and trying to close. Long for the city is fourth. Down to the final furlong. Seal Team 4 won't back down inside. Pretension, these two locked in battle. 16th out. Money in Your Pocket on the far outside, digging in late, racing for the wire. Pretension on the outside of Seal Team 4. Pretension, maybe. Seal Team 4 was right there and got a friendly bob. Those two tight on the wire. Long for the city and Money in Your Pocket.
We'll pick it up off the far turn in a race, and we'll get to that trouble around the clubhouse turn in just a second, but it was a race, Mig. Nobody really picked up an inch of ground off the quarter pole. That being said, just a slug-out battle between the two on the lead.
This was a tremendous horse race. This is what racing's all about. 2 horses giving it their all, 2 riders giving it their all, and it's going to be a head bob up and down, and Cornelio Velasquez is going to get the best of Manny Franco in this one. But a great race. Maybe the reason no one made up any ground is all this trouble that went on behind these guys. They were clear of it towards the outside. But you're going to see the 4-horse here under Ruben Silveira's driving to go forward. He's got 2 horses hung up inside of him. Number 1, Go Get the Basil. Number 2, Wild Night at the Opera. And if he heads to that spot, it's his responsibility not to take those guys' ground. Once he did, very fortunate there wasn't a spill. And you see Irad Ortiz basically bending himself in half to try to give Angel Cruz a little bit more room. You're going to see here, when you start sending to this spot, you know the natural flow of the race, these horses are going to fold over. Once you commit to that, you've got to be able to hold off the outside. Now, there's space between him and the outside horse. So now he's going to come over. He put himself in that situation and basically made his problem the 2 riders inside of him's problem. Ruben Silveira's ridden well all winter. This was a spot where he was overzealous, and he created the problem.
You give him days off this as a learning experience and a lesson, because you watch that head-on, and I had one TV on the pan, one TV on the head live. I really thought there was just going to be a chain reaction and multiple horses might go down.
We were very fortunate there wasn't an accident there, and like I said, I'm not trying to pile on Ruben Silveira here. I've been one of his biggest fans here and saying how well he's ridden all winter. This was a big mistake he made, and when you make mistakes and put other riders in jeopardy, you do have to pay a penalty.
We're glad everybody stayed up and nobody returned worse for the wear in race number 6. Linda Rice, Cornelio Velasquez off the claim with Pretension. As we get on to race number 8, we'll kick off the late double. We go back to Travis and we stay around 2 turns here on the Intertrack listed as good.
Mambo at the gym toward the outside. Street Lord down at the rail. Finn's Quest is up close. Winter Games is too. As the field races for the clubhouse turn, Street Lord from the inside post comes up on through to take the lead. Finn's Quest is running in second. Winter Games 3 wide of that turn from third. Mambo at the gym is running in fourth. Real Estate Rich settles in toward the rail fifth. Howell is now sixth. And Frost Jordan is at the back in seventh. They move around the clubhouse turn, and Street Lord is loose on the lead. Heading for the backstretch run. Quarters up in 24 and 1/5 second. So Street Lord opens up just a bit more now. Opens up to lead by 2. Winter Games and Finn's Quest chasing second and third. Another 2 lengths back. Mambo at the gym settles into fourth, about 4 lengths to make up from there. And then it's Real Estate Rich followed by Frost Frost Jordan, and now Howell has dropped back to trail. But it is still Street Lord who continues to maintain the lead to the far turn run. Still clear by 2. Finn's Quest is getting a bit closer second. Mambo at the Gym has made steady progress all the way up into third on the outside. Winter Games spun out 4 wide far turn run. Real Estate Rich is saving ground back in 5th. 4 lengths to make up after a half and 48 and 1. Frost Jordan coming under a ride 6 lengths behind as they come outside the quarter pole. Street Lord is still the leader. Winter Games 4 wide the entire far turn run. Mambo at the Gym and Finn's Quest battle on between those two. They're off the turn, and Street Lord with something left for the final furlong. Street Lord has kicked away to lead by 3. Winter Games is fully extended, is now second. Finn's Quest is third. Everybody else is struggling. Street Lord clear by 3 as they come down to the wire, and it will be Street Lord from start to finish. The 3-length winner ended up tight for second. Finn's Quest or Winter Games. Mambo at the Gym was 4th.
Inside's been pretty live over the last couple of cards, and Junior Alvarado, we've talked about this, a jockey who quite simply has been very dialed into track trends and track biases, and he just did the right thing with Street Lord and doled out his speed perfectly in race 8.
Junior's always been a talented, physically gifted rider. I see a level of preparation and just a guy that's doing his homework, bringing his game to another level, and he's doing it consistently. Day in, day out. He's making all the right moves and took advantage of the inside post, reading the racetrack. He's really, really bringing his game to another level.
Been impressed, too, with the job Charlie Baker has done all winter long. He's just properly spotted his horses, and he seems like one of the few guys. There's a couple of different barns, but really dialed into what horses can win at Finger Lakes during the summer and fall and spring, but can compete down here on the inner track, which just is, it's not an easy feat.
No, it's not an easy feat. And just like you say, having a handle on where horses belong, spotting them properly, that's one part of the equation. The other part of the equation is how good his horses look. I mean, that's a big, strong, good-looking horse anyway, Street Lord. But to have a horse's coat look that good in the middle of winter, that says something about how the trainer's job.
And getting around Mother Nature as well, which we'll expand upon in looking at the week's top performers and the job John Terranova has done with El Kabir. But what about the remainder of the Sunday Pick 6? Let's check it out as we go back to Travis for the calls of 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 9.
4th, only 2 lengths to make up from there. Hythe Gardens, the whip is out. 5th off the turn. Top of the stretch now. Gabby's Brown in front. Minnie the Minx is going to try and come up the rails to switch back outside. In the meantime, Chicoletta with clear sailing on the far outside, and Chicoletta has come on to take the lead. Gabby's Brown fights on toward the rail. Artie's Party Girl, Minnie the Minx, and everybody else down to the wire. Chicoletta from off the pace to win a length and a half, maybe 2 lengths on the wire. Gabby's Brown was second. Artie's Party Girl was third. Minnie the Minx was 4th. Starting to get going from 5th. 6 or 7 lengths to make up there. And down inside, it's Bernstein Flambe as the field comes off the turn. Shangala's in front and is kicked away to a 2-length lead. Oh, my God, Donna's coming up the rail, though, moving into second. Saluta's fighting on the outside. Here comes Saluta now. Oh, my God, Donna up the rail. Saluta outside. Shangala between those two. Down to the final 16th. Saluta's in front. Oh, my God, Donna. Final try toward the rail, but it is Saluta. A 2-length winner. Oh, my God, Donna second. Shangala third. Just crazy. Way too far behind. Top of the lane now. 2:17 on the outside of Bambi's Frosty Racer. In behind, it's Tappin' Mojo. Nowhere to go. Campion Lane continues to grind away on the outside. Down to the final furlong. Bambi's Frosty Racer. Campion Lane. Tappin' Mojo's had absolutely nowhere to go. Is going to try and squeeze through toward the inside. 16th to go. Campion Lane in front. Bambi's Frosty Racer. Tappin' Mojo. Clear sailing up the rail. Here's the wire. Photo. Too tight to tell. Tappin' Mojo found a seam as good as hanging in there. Paradise Peak is down inside, tries to cut the corner off the turn. Top of the stretch, here comes Detail on the outside up to take the lead, 3/16 out. Paradise Peak back into second with Your Credit is Good, Summon the Spirit on the outside. They're inside the final 1/8 of a mile, and it is Detail running away. Opening up to lead by 5 as they come to the wire. Summon the Spirit up for second. Your Credit is Good will be third, and Paradise Peak 4th. 5th, and Moonluck is off the turn in 6th. Top of the lane. Great Attack is still the leader. Pete Kent has been trying to get by and is now collared on the outside. In the meanwhile, Risk Management is sneaking through toward the inside, coming right up the rail. Furlong to go. Pete Kent in front, wandering about the track. Risk Management down inside with Great Attack. Moonluck late in the scene, down to the wire. Pete Kent, the 3-length winner. Risk Management was second, Moonlock was third, and Dighton was fourth. The top of the stretch, Desert Spirit is off the turn, trying to shake loose from Lady Rhubarb down inside. Utopian Wife is running in third, then it's Miscount in fourth and pitched. The rest have to get going. They're heading for the final furlong. Desert Spirit's driving on a 2-length lead. Lady Rhubarb, Utopian Wife on the outside. Sole opposition is picking through the pack. Kleptocrat is finishing strong. It's still anybody's race. Desert Spirit's desperate. Here's Utopian Wife. Kleptocrat outside. Utopian Wife got there in the final few strides.
Three-bagger for Irod spent the day, or Saturday anyway, down at Tampa Bay Downs. It didn't work out with Ocean Knight in the Tampa Bay Derby, but a 3-win Sunday here at Aqueduct. And Gustavo Rodriguez, filling in for the suspended Rudy Rodriguez, had 3 wins himself, so good job with those guys. Angel Cruz, though, involved in that rough incident into the clubhouse turn in race number 6. And how about the poise taking race 4 with Tappin' Mojo?
Yeah, he was trapped, all dressed up with nowhere to go, as we see him here on number 3, Tappin' Mojo. And he doesn't panic. He says, you know, I'm here. I really don't have any room. I got to sit. I got to wait. I got to wait. And eventually, a little seam opens up on the inside, and he's able to get on through and get up by your nose. You got to feel a little bad for Angel Arroyo on the outside. Basically, he's got the race won at this point, and then here comes Angel Cruz with Tappin' Mojo slipping through along the inside to get up by the barest of noses. He had the horse to do it, Jason.
Yeah.
But believe me, when you're on a horse that has that much run and no place to go, it's a desperate feeling, and he didn't panic. Really nice ride by a young man.
Well, on the inner track, in which the stretch is 1,174 feet, it's the longest dirt stretch on the NYRA circuit, and boy, oh boy, he needed every inch to get up there and get in the clear, finally, if you will, with Tappin' Mojo, who was trained by Joe Imperio. Good to see some of the, you know, long-standing trainer on this circuit, but a guy who just doesn't run that many horses. Good to see him getting the win.
Well, it's definitely about opportunity. You guy needs horses to run, horses to win races with. This was a very astute claim by him, taking him off Dave Canizzo, so good job, Joe Imperio.
And speaking of claims on this Sunday afternoon, March the 8th, let's see who was wheeling and dealing in the Aqueduct Racing office. A couple of shakes late in the day on MJ Plus, who was claimed off David Jacobson. But we see, Mig, in race number 2, Bruce Brown taking another horse for Drawing Away stable.
Yeah, second horse in 2 days he's taken for Drawing Away. So Drawing Away kind of spreading out, branching out a little bit. Bruce Brown, a terrific trainer. And I see Mitch Friedman reaching in for another one. Richard Taclosa took Picant out of race 7. You don't see Richard Taclosa do too much claiming. I'll be interested to see this horse going forward.
Hard-hitting gelding by Arch, who shows up every time, win or lose. And by the way, a $24,000 pick 6 carryover into the Thursday card. We're dark 3 consecutive days, and we're dark now with the final timeout. And we look back at the week's top performers.
Start your summer at the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival. 3 days of exciting racing action. $10 million on the line. Live music, entertainment, food vendors, and more. Get your tickets today.
BelmontStakes.com. Well, we've got those tickets, reserved seats for both the clubhouse and/or grandstand, and you buy those reserved seats for Belmont Stakes Day, Saturday, June 6th. You'll get free admission to the Stars and Stripes Festival, 4th of July weekend. Sounds pretty good.
2 of the best days of racing the entire year, and certainly the entire spring at Belmont
and
Park.
We hope El Kabir makes it to the big dance. He is your leader regarding 3-year-old points, and he was terrific here, showing a new dimension on Saturday, rating from far off the pace in the Gotham. Here he is, aqua blue, gray, dirtied up coat on the outside beneath 54-year-old rider CeCe Lopez.
Yeah, people should never underestimate how difficult it is for a horse to learn to take the dirt, settle in behind horses, negotiate his way through traffic. Now, obviously, he got a beautiful ride from Chucky Lopez here, but a great training job by John Terranova, and his exercise rider Simon Harris deserves a lot of credit teaching this horse to use his speed in a more efficient fashion. I think there's a lot to like.
And speaking of speed, a 111 Beyer performance for Salute Those Amigos, 4 consecutive stakes, and just a monstrous effort taking the Tom Fool.
You can just watch how he accelerates through the stretch. I mean, he finishes this deal. He got a terrific ride under Cornelio Velasquez, and we can't say enough about the job David Jacobson's done with this horse. To keep a horse in this kind of raging form for as long as he's done it, I think, you know, people have this idea David Jacobson's all about just claiming horses. Well, this dispels that myth. He's good with any kind of horse.
Hot jockey, and it was just a two-day week here at Aqueduct, two-day weekend with the Gotham on Saturday and today's March 8th program, but we give it to Jose Ortiz, who's riding well, got the stake win in the Jimmy Wingfield, and sits second in the country with $2.2 million in the bank.
What a nice position to be in for a young man, and obviously he enjoys his job. Gave this horse a terrific ride, Aqueduct in the Wingfield, and on the strength of that performance, he gets Jockey of the Week.
Let's check out the rider standings. Junior Alvarado, a win in our co-featured 8th race on the afternoon, but Jose Ortiz, your leading rider, with a lot of time to go on the inner, my friend.
Yeah, putting a little heat on his brother, but you know what? They're keeping it in-house. It's all good.
Let's move on to the trainer standings, or the hot trainer, in fact, as we go to David Jacobson, who on this circuit in 2013 and 2014 won a combined 293 races.
Yeah, that's mind-boggling numbers. That harkens back to the days when Frank Martin was dominating around here, training for Sigmund Summer. And, you know, I mean, I already waxed poetic about David Jacobson. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit, but obviously a man who knows what he's doing.
And he doesn't sound, at least as of today, too bullish on taking Salutos over to the Golden Shaheen on that Dubai World Cup undercard. We'll see what he does. Obviously, you've got the Grade 1 Carter here on Wood Day, April 4th.
Yeah, not a bad consolation price.
No, that's for sure. A lot of history and prestige in that Grade 1 Carter. We hope Salutos Amigos is in the starting gate. As I mentioned, the Pick 6 carryover, just under $24,000 into Thursday's card. And here's two people who have already done the work as we send it to Andy and Maggie.
I'm hoping to hold out until the 9th race again when we come to Thursday's card, just a mere 4 days away. The last race on Sunday, last race on Thursday. Delightful Erin will wire this field. I don't think that she'll be the favorite in this race. Maybe she'll be third choice. Last time out, a race much better it looks on paper. She broke badly, 2-3 lengths beyond the field, had to rush up to duel. She breaks cleanly in this race. She goes right to the front, and she wires the last race. That's the two. Delightful Erin, as we head out to Maggie.
Thanks, Andy. Well, for today's Paddock Insider, taking a look at the Thursday card, honestly, I wish it could be a bit more creative, but I'm going to have to settle on a horse who is likely to be your favorite or second choice, and that is number 8 in the 4th race. It's a maiden claiming 40, going the mile. Ghost Ship goes out for trainer Rick Violet in his 3rd start of his career, now stretching things out. And he's a very athletic type, and kind of watching his races, he's very one-paced and kind of has that grinding running style. So stretching out in distance should not be a problem for him. Now, he does drop back down into this maiden claimer, but he's faced some okay horses, namely...
Apologize there. Maggie does like Ghost Ship, and Andy likes a horse, Delightful Erin, in race number 9. But looking at the trainer of Ghost Ship, you've got Rick Violet Jr., who's got Upstart, who's got many options in front of him, looking towards his final Kentucky Derby prep.
Yeah, I actually spoke with Rick earlier this afternoon, and he spoke about his options, the Florida Derby or the Wood Memorial. He likes the Florida Derby because it gives him 5 weeks to the Kentucky Derby, but he's a little bit worried about the racetrack there. Last time it was pretty deep, and he doesn't want to run over that kind of surface, so he does have the option of coming up here for the Wood. Right now, he's on the fence.
All right, National Racing Report, 6 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We're back at it this coming Thursday. 9 races on the Thursday card, a first race post of 1:20 p.m. We'll say, let's go Rangers tonight against the Blackhawks. Have a great few days away from Aqueduct, and we'll see you back here on Thursday.